From a look back into Ilia Topuria being disrespected at the beginning of his career, all the way to something like Nina Drama trying to piss off the MMA community, today we are recapping everything that went trending, went viral, made for conversation within the MMA community. Hit the explore page over on X. We have all of it for you today. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels. Guys, let's get into the first topic for you today. ACD MMA posted this. The replies to this are insane. We did not respect Ilia Topuria at all. Now, if you guys are new to this channel, we have the vast majority of these posts picked out for us, but this is one of those things that I added in myself because I came across this and I was like, oh my god. Here are some of the old replies. And there were a lot of people saying the same types of things. Like, this is from May 24th, 2021. Finally, we get to see Hall rip apart another ankle. It's funny that people are like replying to this stuff now. I would imagine how many views did that initial post get? Let me see over here. Let's see. It ended up getting almost 600k views. So I would imagine people are going way back over to that, which is hilarious. Rip Ilia Topuria. Dude, it is incredible. We did not know what we were witnessing back in the day. Ryan Hall by, oh my god, this one was new. This one was new. Come on. But you get the point. There were a lot of people talking about Ilia Topuria actually not being good in that thread, okay? Topuria is the guy that was throwing those crazy hooks to the body in his last fight, right? Damn, I liked his last performance. Too bad he's leaving in crutches after this fight. I love this. I like, it's crazy, and I didn't even remember this. I'm glad that I ended up coming across this because it's like, wow, there actually really was a lot of disrespect on Ilia Topuria. Not necessarily disrespect, but it's like, we didn't know that we were watching greatness in the early days, you know? By far, one of the most hilarious fights I've ever watched. Joe Rogan's commentary glazing Ryan every time he rolled just for Ilia to drop bombs on him after the 7th attempt. Yeah. It sucks, man, because I like Ryan Hall, and I like Ilia Topuria, too. They're both good fighters, and they're both fun, but yeah, Rogan does glaze the BJJ guys a little bit too much. Let's continue on over to the next topic, guys. A little bit of a wholesome one over here. Full Violence posted this. Dominic Cruz said TJ Dillashaw DM'd him, wanted to help him keep fighting after retiring with a similar shoulder injury. Respect. It's always nice to see. We see Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya coming together. We see Demetrius Johnson, Henry Cejudo coming together. We are probably down the road going to see Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira too, but who would have thought? TJ Dillashaw, Dominic Cruz. It's still sad, man, that Dominic Cruz ended up hanging the gloves the way he did, but realistically, he was fighting in the toughest division of the entirety of combat sports history, and he probably wasn't going to go out on top, okay? TJ's shoulder ain't even fixed. I wouldn't trust that doctor. I mean, it's a good point, but I do have to agree with the reply over here. TJ's shoulder was on a whole new level of fried, though. Anyone else's shoulder, he could do a little bit more with. Yeah, apparently from what we've heard, TJ Dillashaw's shoulder was, like the comment said, it was on a brand new level of absolutely destroyed. Let's continue on, though. Eric Nixick admits that he made a mistake of his approach critiquing Sean Strickland's performance at UFC 312. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, this was kind of like probably a couple weeks ago, the talk of the MMA community. Sean Strickland's coach just went on Ariel Helwani's show and just started talking about not wanting to coach Sean Strickland, him not being motivated. Like, he started bad-mouthing his fighter instead of actually talking to his fighter. I'm glad he admitted that it was a mistake, but the problem was the intent was there, man. The intent was there. I think that he wanted some clout on Sean Strickland, but also Sean Strickland, and this is what I said in the video, we talked about it in another video, I doubt that Sean Strickland is a guy that is easy to coach. I can see him just like telling you to go F yourself, you know? Never bite the feet that teep you. That's good. That's actually such a good reply, man. That's such a good reply. He realized fighters won't want to work with him if he is happy to publicly shame them. That's completely true as well. As if people do make mistakes, it's always possible he was being genuine, but I do believe the intent was originally there for him to shame Sean Strickland and just get a little bit of clout from the situation. Strickland's a clown anyway. Who cares? It's still not good to do to your fighter. It's not respectful to do to your fighter, and it's not how a coach should behave. Because any fighter could look at that and go, okay, well, if he's doing this to Sean Strickland, his champion, what's stopping him from doing that to me too? Let's continue on to another reply. Sorry for the pause there. He didn't make a mistake. Spoke facts. Can't be jabbing only in a title fight. Strickland never should fight for a title again if he's going to fight like a baby. I understand where you're coming from there, but you need to speak facts to your fighter and not the entire world. If Sean gave the green light where it's like, hey, Ariel Helwani wants to interview me. Are you cool if I go on there and talk about your performance? And Sean goes, yeah, I don't care. Then yeah, that's understandable, but that should just be a conversation he has with Sean behind closed doors. Let's continue on to the next topic. Looks like we have Alex Pereira giving a fan Money. Let's see what this is all about. Man, it's crazy the star he's become, eh? What did how much? Did we see how much we just handed him? That's a lot of money. Pretty good.
Thank you.
That's incredible. Yeah, a bunch of, wow. That's nice. She just picked a random guy and doing that. I'm assuming that this isn't staged. That's awesome. He did seem happy. It's crazy that the stardom of Alex Pereira, he can't walk around anymore, right? Let's get you on. It's so cool to see fighters do that. Oh, I forgot about this. Nate, I lost my rent money betting on you. Now I'm sleeping in my car till I can come up with my half. I want to know if Nate Diaz actually ended up doing that, because I forgot it. Like, this went viral a long time ago. Nate, of course, called him bitch ass, okay? He saw a little bro bag a baddie and gave him money to keep her. Well, all right, let's investigate. Let's see. Did we even see the girl?
Thank you.
Where is she? Oh, is that her? Is that her? Do we even see her? Am I blind? Oh, all right, hang on. This better not be for nothing, man. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? What did we go back and look at that for, man? You don't know how old this girl is, and incredible. Incredible. Why did we circle back and look at that, man? Oh, well. Let's continue on. Bilal Muhammad got into it with Darren Till. I did see this. Dang, I stole Leon's belt and his opponent, because we all know that Bilal Muhammad ended up getting a fight. I don't know where this picture came from, but it's a good picture. Darren Till did end up replying to that and said, try to steal personality while you're at it. Bilal Muhammad firing right back. Why didn't you try to steal some Ozempic so you stop looking like a fat sausage? Ooh. Ooh. And you gotta love Derek Brunson just chilling with the popcorn. Derek Brunson's like low-key funny on Twitter. If you ever like just go about like look at what Derek Brunson's commenting on or replying to. Thrax responded to Darren Till and said, I know you're not talking about a personality. Yeah, unfortunately. You know what? Bilal Muhammad's actually like low-key really good at Twitter beef. It sucks, man. I think he gets way too disrespected within the MMA space, but he's actually like low-key funny. I wish he could bring that same energy onto the microphone. Superfan posted this. This is a massive day for the 8 of us who are both MMA and chess fans. Now, I am not super into the chess world, but I do love the game of chess, and it's always cool to see, I guess, Joe Rogan giving light to a chess player, which is cool to see. If Magnus Carlsen is the John Jones of the chess world, the second best player would be like Anthony Smith. He's actually the GOAT. Wow. Okay, so that is pretty good. That's pretty good for Rogan to snag. I need to keep up with the chess world a little bit more, man. I love chess. The Weasel posted this. If Ilia Topuria beats Charles Oliveira, then Islam Makhachev, is he the GOAT? Beating Volk, Holloway, Oliveira, and Islam in a row while being undefeated would be such an insane achievement. Yes, he would. Yes, absolutely he would. I wholeheartedly believe that. I don't know if anybody could end up disagreeing with that. But I'm sure that people will. Let's take a look at some of the replies over here. Not even close. That would probably be the best string of wins he ever put together, but without longevity facing everyone the promotion has to offer, I can't see him on that list. Though I suppose it would carve out a unique niche in history similar to Khabib. I don't know if I agree with that. It's the quality of wins. You're beating some of these fighters in their prime, like Islam Makhachev in his prime right now. Charles Oliveira, a slightly weaker version of Charles Oliveira, but it's still a very respectable win. Max Holloway, we don't know if he exited his prime. Alexander Volkanovski is really the only one where you can go, okay, you didn't take on a prime Volk. But if he beats Oliveira and he beats Islam Makhachev convincingly, yeah, he's the greatest fighter of all time. Wholeheartedly, okay? Yet again, another smaller fighter getting a chance against Islam, and somehow the GOAT talks are involved. But not for the pound-for-pound king. The hypocrites in the MMA fan base are so embarrassing. Very, very good point. Islam Makhachev should be considered in the greatest of all time list more than he actually has talked about. Now, in saying that, unfortunately, I don't believe he is the greatest fighter of all time. I personally believe prime Alexander Volkanovski is the greatest fighter of all time. But if you're talking about, like, the entirety of their careers, then, of course, we can get into the conversation. I'm thinking, like, your Khabib Nurmagomedovs, your John Jones is disqualified from it. We've had the GOAT conversation for a very long time. Islam Makhachev is absolutely 100% up there. Let's continue on to knockout of the day. Kind of saying the same thing, but beating Volk, Dustin, Oliveira, Moicano, Saruki, and Topuria and Hooker in a row while being undefeated of 9 years would be such an insane achievement. Very true. Very true. You know, like, at some point we have to look at Islam Makhachev's record and go, okay, you know what? Why are we talking about other people being the greatest of all time? This is the greatest of all time. How the hell can he be the GOAT? There's questions unanswered. He should have fought Movsar. Dealt with that, then moved up. That would have been epic, but he didn't. I believe that he should have fought Movsar Evlo as well. I know that Movsar has no problem going up to 155. I think he should have fought Movsar, Diego Lopez, perhaps one more fighter, and then moved up. But we know that it is a smart choice for Ilia Topuria. I don't know if it necessarily has to do with the cut. Maybe a little piece of it, but he can go down as the greatest featherweight of all time, perhaps, okay? No, he wouldn't be the GOAT. He would have had the best championship runs in recent memory. To be the best in UFC history, you have to go on a championship run with double-digit title defenses to even be in the conversation. I don't know why it's the case. It's about the quality of opponents and your performances. I get what he's saying, but I do disagree with that. Has a main event and co-main event ever delivered like this did? I remember this like it was yesterday. UFC 189, guys. This and UFC 205 and UFC Noche, which I think UFC Noche is my new favorite card of all time, but UFC 189, UFC 205 were my two favorite fight cards of all time, and other cards like barely came close, man. There are very few cards that ended up delivering, and I will say that UFC 205 and UFC Noche did deliver on that. Bisping vs. St. Pierre and TJ vs. Cody. There was one other title fight on that card. Oh, it was Namajunas. Was it Namajunas in your J-Check? There was another title fight, and I'm pretty sure Rose was a part of it. It must have been versus Joanna. Regardless, man, yeah. That one's up there, but the card, it had like every single fight deliver on it, you know? Was it the card that officially made me a fan of the UFC? Yeah. I remember back in the day, man, my friends and I in high school got together and we all watched that card, and it was some of the most screaming we have ever done. I still hold that near and dear to my heart. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I see your two fights in race 3 and new 3 times all finishes. Oh, yes, it was. It was. You want to hear Jane Check, Rose Namajunas, TJ Dillashaw, Cody Garbrandt, Michael Bisping, George St. Pierre. That was a really, really solid card as well. Yeah, I know, but the problem is, like, I don't recall any other fights in that card. With UFC Noche, UFC 289, UFC 205, I can name for you the fights on those cards because of how memorable they were. How about this? Well, let's see. Volkanovski, what was this card? Volkanovski, Rodriguez, Moreno versus Pantoja 2. Yeah, that was some good fights, man. We have Pantoja, Moreno, Duplessis, Whitaker, Dan Hooker, Jalen Turner, Bo Nickel, Val Woodburn, and Robbie Lawler, Nico Price. Very, very good card as well. Very exciting card. I don't personally think that stacks up to the other cards that we were talking about, though. Back-to-back insanity. Hang on. Yeah, that's true. That's true. For some reason, I thought I was about to see Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza. That was a good point, but again, we're talking about the full card over here. But regardless, let's continue on over to championship rounds. Posted a clip of Jamahal Hill. A lot of people are very happy with Jamahal Hill because he actually owned up to his loss against Alex Pereira. Check this out if you guys haven't.
Obviously, the fight didn't go the way that I wanted it to. Got to give a shout out to Yuri. He made great adjustments. He looked really good. Brought in some new elements to his game. Wasn't able to get the win. Ultimately, just had fun out there. I really, really had a good time.
And this is the Jamahal Hill that's really easy to like. This is the Jamahal Hill that I personally was a fan of. You can tell that he had it all in there and he's having respect for his opponent.
Enjoyed the fight. It was a war. Went back and forth. Former champions. Hopefully we deliver. I appreciate all the love and support that's been outpoured. And
now I hope that like Jamahal Hill takes this approach moving forward because this guy, this is an insanely guy to cheer for. I don't know if he was just trying to stir up a rematch for Pereira because I don't think that was really Jamahal Hill. I think he was playing it up. I think that he was just looking to get a name for himself.
On the fight. Good opponent. Haven't really been able to be in the fights as much as I want to over the last couple of years since I won the title due to injury and things like that. I felt like comfortability was a little off. Didn't really get into my rhythm. And
that's totally fair. It makes sense, and he's not making any excuses. When fighters are like, well, props to Yuri Prochazka, but I was injured. You can tell that Jamahal Hill's being real just with the way that he's talking.
Into my flow. Still showed up. I'm still game. I'm still one of those guys like that whenever it comes to fighting, but would have liked to have been a little bit more locked in. I wish that it hadn't been stopped. That's one thing I will say. It was a good shot. I went down, and he was swinging to finish, but I felt like I had covered up, pinpointed the position where he was punching.
That's totally fair to say. I personally thought it was a good stoppage, but he has a case.
And pushed back into him, kind of knocked him off his balance. Was doing kind of the same things I did earlier in the fight to get up. And I don't know, the ref just felt like it was time to stop it. It was time for him to step in.
And I feel like a lot of people would agree with me in saying that agree with the referee and saying it was time to stop it. It looked like Jamahal Hill was kind of out of there. He took too much punishment in that moment.
Didn't really care for it. Kind of like the Izzy fight. The Izzy fight, the week or two after my fight, he can see where it was stopped, and also I can see where it was stopped. But I felt like the former champ was working his way. He got caught. He got hit with a good shot. And you let him deal with some adversity or go out on the shield. I would have liked to go out on my shield.
I know, but the problem is, like, the ref's job is to protect you. The ref made that decision, and it wasn't a bad decision. That's the problem. But Jamahal Hill's not coming out here like Dominic Cruz saying, like, you smell like alcohol and cigarettes. You need to let me go out of my shield. Wah.
If he's going to put me out, that it is what it is at that point. You know, I know what I signed up for. As I said, you know.
But you can't just say that to the ref. That's a problem, right? You can't say that. He's there to protect you.
Dealing with things and stuff like that going into the fight, absolutely no excuse. I felt like I was in a position to come out and get my hand raised. I banked it all on myself, went out there, and ultimately I just came up short.
Yeah, and I think that was a very real and respectable way to analyze this fight. You can tell that he's heard about it too. I hope Jamahal Hill succeeds moving forward because even with the build up to this fight, I was a Jamahal Hill fan. I still like Hill, and I thought that he was playing up the Alex Pereira stuff. Humble Hill is better than Weiner Hill. Yep, agreed. Humble Hill is a hill that we like to see. A breath of fresh air to see him own up to his losses now. This is the Jamahal Hill I became a fan of. Agreed. I understand, like, I kind of understood where he was coming from with the Alex Pereira loss, but again, I still do ultimately think that he was just looking to get a rematch, just looking to stay relevant. That's what I personally believe, because it was mostly ridiculous, but a little bit of what he had to say had merit to it. Love this version of Jamahal Hill. Much respect to him for taking this loss the right way and not making any excuses. Absolutely 100%. Very, very well said. Sorry, I just saw the next post over here. Photo of Ronda Rousey then and now is going viral. Huh? Is this AI? Oh, these are... Come on, man. These are AI-generated photos that have been circulating social media for some time. Oh, okay. That makes more sense because I was like, huh? This doesn't look like Ronda. Like, yeah, there's no way. I don't know if this one's real, though. This one looks real. Kinda? I don't know. That's the problem with AI, man. It's getting better and better as time goes on. But let's take a look at some replies over there. Would then, would now. Yeah, like... YouTube, I'm very grateful to be on your platform. This is an absolutely disgusting thing to say, and I'm just showing it to the viewers over here because I think we need to demonstrate of what is absolutely not okay to say, and Balak should be absolutely ashamed of himself for saying such a thing. You know she got recoil. Look at the ratios. Oof. Professional athlete gets in shape. Mind-blowing. Dude, yeah, everybody was believing, I guess, that this wasn't AI. All right. I don't know what else to say about that one, but let's continue on over to Jim Miller. I saw this, actually. I don't know if you guys saw this. Jim Miller spoke up about Henry Cejudo. If only humans could control their fingers, then the accidents wouldn't keep happening. I've been poked twice in fights, and both caused permanent damage to my vision. Will it take someone losing an eye before pokes start being penalized? I don't know why, regardless of whether or not you think Henry Cejudo was faking his eye injury. I don't know why. If the fingers are out like this, they shouldn't be. And Jim Miller even uploaded a video, too. Jim Miller uploaded an entire video just saying, hey, I can close my fingers in the UFC glove. I can do that. This should be an immediate point deduction. Accidental eye pokes should be an immediate point deduction. Fouls in general, I don't care what it is. It's a fence grab. If it's a nut shot, I get that they happen. But if you start actually implementing, hey, we're going to be taking points away, then fighters will be more careful about it. I wholeheartedly believe that. Will it lead to some like point deductions that are just a little unfortunate? Yeah, but it'll make these types of things happen less and less. One of the toughest fighters out there backing Cejudo, and people still saying he quit. I'm not going to get into the other entire, analyzing exactly what Cejudo did, but his actions in the cage didn't help. But then again, everything that Henry Cejudo has done throughout his career makes me think that he's not a quitter, okay? Every eye poke should get a 5-minute recovery time and an automatic point reduction. Whether it's an accident or not, there needs to be repercussions for illegal strikes that alter a fight's outcome. 2 eye pokes should give him the win to the poked fighter. Punish cheaters. I agree with that, but unfortunately, this is a very true thing. John Jones wouldn't exist. Yeah, John Jones was ridiculous with the eye pokes. And no matter what, I don't care. You get poked in the eye, point deduction right away. Accident or not, don't care. The hate against Henry for this had me losing my mind. Even Dana mocked him. The UFC wants to be seen as a joke. Reality is Dana knows Henry is 40 and Song is 26. One will make him more money. Song had 3 dirty strikes and no points. Plus intention does not matter when the illegal strike impacts the outcome of the fight. You know what? I am actually very, very open to the idea that Dana White and the UFC speak to these refs before, because the amount of times that these fighters get yelled at and warned over and over and over again. And this weird thing that happened last weekend about just stopping the fight, letting it start round 4 so they can go to the scorecard so they can give the decision to Song Yadong instead of having it a no contest or a draw. That's the only explanation about why none of these refs will enforce the rules. Even accidental pokes should be an automatic point deduction. I completely agree with that. 100%. And this This is the thing that we did see coming into this, okay? I thought we were going to continue talking about the eye poke. Sorry, guys. I never know what's coming next, okay? There was a couple things that I sprinkled in throughout this, and I know some topics, but Nina Drama just doing what she typically does. What are the chances this video will upset MMA Twitter? Nina Drama doing what she typically does and saying like, oh my god, look at me, just my presence is making people mad, but in reality, what she doesn't know is people are just shaking her head at her. Nobody actually looks at this video. Oh my god. Nobody actually looks at this video and goes, oh my god, Nina Drama, oh my god. Oh my god, what's she doing? She's fixing her hair. Oh my god, what's she doing? Nobody does that. Nobody does that. The fact that she goes around making these types of videos going, oh my god, everybody's so mad at me. You're mad at me, huh? You're mad at me. You're mad at me. It's like that kid, you know those kids in elementary school where it'd be like, they'd be like literally up in your face going like, oh, am I bugging you? Huh? Am I bugging you? You hate me? You know, like those types of kids. That's exactly what this is. Like, she could just do this and completely mind her own business, but she just has to go, this is going to piss off the MMA community. Like, it's not the video that pisses it off. Everybody's just shaking their head at her. I don't know what this reply is. Yeah. Fair reaction. Oh, man. I hope that gets memed, man. Heard she slept with the MMA guru. Could you imagine, dude? If that's the rumor that starts getting spread around. Engagement bait. Hold strong, boys. Ignore. Yeah, it literally is just engagement bait. She just wants the attention, man. But we did it. You know what? Let's give her some more attention, guys. We made an entire video talking about one of the situations that she got into. You can check this video out right here. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care.